I'm giving just this basically a testimony of how God came through for me during this time that I was out of work. I don't really know if I can do justice as far as telling the story in this manner that I'm going in. I don't know. Some places I think it's better for me actually to just read from my journal that I was keeping during the time that I was going through it. And I definitely have a newfound respect for those that do videos like this, because I am having all kinds of trouble trying to get this done. And it's just a simple little testimony. And I'm complicating it, and it shouldn't be this difficult. So the task is belittling my story, the actual testimony. And I don't want to disappoint anybody. I'm not sure if I said that in some places of this, I'll just read from my journal just so you can see the frame of mind, so you can kind of understand the frame of mind that I was in at the time. In addition to me losing my job in October, the month prior to that, my son ended up being incarcerated with serious charges. So I was going through a lot just dealing with that. So in February of this year, I started working at the VA. And from day one, my supervisor was trying to get rid of me. She didn't have any valid reason to get rid of me, so she resorted to telling lies and eventually got me fired. I'm thinking that is why I had the several episodes of the dissociative amnesia. I think it was just because of all of the stress I was under, going through what I was going through. I came really close to losing everything that I had. And being a woman of faith, you just assume that God is going to step in and rescue you. And I just could not understand why I was going through what I was going through. But I'll get into more of that in a few minutes. During this time while I'm out of work, I was very isolated. I would go for days at a time, not even leaving my house. And that's not good. The devil took advantage of that. I was totally depressed. Didn't understand why I can't find a job. And of course, just wanted this thing to be over. If I repeat myself in some of this, please just forgive me. I'm still experiencing some issues with my memory, so I may repeat myself. So in February, I started a job at the VA, and my supervisor was trying to get rid of me day one, even though she didn't really have anything against me. I think she's just racist or something. And she tried getting rid of me and finally resorted to just telling a whole bunch of lies, and she got me fired. I immediately filed for unemployment compensation because I'm single and there's no one here to help me. So I filed for unemployment and assumed that it would be no problem because I had proof that she made up a bunch of lies, but that did not happen. They had to do their own investigation, I guess. And so I went from October to December. Just, my story isn't done yet. I'm not going to be able to actually finish it until when I actually get another job and everything like that. But even then, it will continue because I'm going through this for a reason. So in October last year is when I had my first episode of the amnesia. I was very confused. Well, I wouldn't say it was amnesia then, but I was very confused. And so I ended up in the emergency room in November, last November, and then, no, it was October. And then I ended up in the ER again in January with confusion. Nothing was done for me, and that's a whole nother topic. So from October to present, I experienced several episodes of the amnesia. I think the reason I experienced the episodes like that, because I was under tremendous stress. For anybody that God has a significant call on their lives, 9 times out of 10, they are going to go through a lot of warfare. And I can say that seems like all my life I've been in some kind of spiritual warfare as far back as I can remember. So because of that, I've experienced a lot of spiritual burnout. And then mentally, emotionally, I was exhausted. So it was not unusual for me just to not want to wake up the next morning. I didn't really I wouldn't consider that a suicidal ideation, but I just was just like, I'd rather just not wake up the next morning. And that's what one of the things that happened during this situation. I had started taking a new medication for ADHD, and but as I said, the thought of just not wanting to get up the next day wasn't unusual. So initially, it was no big deal. However, I realized something was different. Like, it was very intense. I wanted to die. And I have a firearm, and the devil was edging me on to take my own life. And this went on for 3 days. I was very suicidal. And eventually I realized this thought of me dying became very aggressive. I had never experienced it to this degree. So much so, thank God, I went to seek help, but nothing was done for me. Anyway, so I went through this for 3 days, just really, really wanting to die. And thank goodness, because it was so aggressive, that thought of dying was so aggressive, I Googled the new medication that I was started on, and that was one of the common side effects, die. Needless to say, that mess got thrown in the trash. I flushed some down the commode, and then the rest was in. I had already threw it away. So because of the nature of my claim, with me being terminated for unsatisfactory job performance, I'm assuming that is why my unemployment compensation did not start as quickly as I thought. I figured, hey, I'm out of work, I'll just apply for unemployment. No big deal while I continue to work. Continue to wait on another job. I'll have income. So I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. However, it didn't happen as quickly as I assumed it would. And I was on the verge of losing everything. My car, my home, and of course my mind. Because at this point, between October and December, I actually thought I was having a nervous breakdown. And really only one person was aware of my situation. My cousin that checked on me every day. She's the only one that knew that I was in this house for days at a time, and I was on the verge of having a mental breakdown. I hadn't made a car payment in 2 months, almost 3. So I was about to lose my car. And I could not believe that I was in this position. I've always been a woman of faith. God has always come through for me. So at this point, I am feeling like God has forsaken me. I am feeling like, what in the world is going on? I'm a tither. I give. What's up with this? So this was right after Thanksgiving. I was at home, and I started getting disoriented. Like, there's a room, there's a door, my laundry room is is connected to my restroom that's in my bedroom. And I'm in the bedroom and I see the door and I don't even know what's on the other side of the door. And I'm like, wow, what's on the, what does this door lead to? And then I come back and I'm in my room and I'm sitting on my bed and I don't even remember what my house looks like. So I actually go out my door, my bedroom door, just to see, because I forgot, I couldn't even remember what my house looked like. So I go out the door just to see what's on the other side of this door. That's the position I was in mentally. And at this time, I'm trying to figure out why I'm so confused. I'm trying to figure out what brought on this level of confusion. I'm going to stop right here and pick it up in the next video. It's not a long testimony.